Imagine this. Your country has just broken free from decades of colonial rule, years of forced labor, lost land, and deep poverty. Independence finally arrives, and people believe a brighter future is coming. But only a few years later, something terrifying starts to happen. In your own town, neighbors begin to die one by one. Families discover their loved ones brutally murdered, bodies mutilated in ways no one can understand. Rumors spread that these killings are tied to dark rituals. Fear takes over as families lock themselves inside, knowing the killer could strike at any moment. The whole town is left traumatized and paralyzed by terror. This isn't a horror movie. This was real. Between 1968 and 1970, in a place called Chilobwe in Malawi, more than 30 people were brutally murdered. Bodies were mutilated, and rumors spread, whispers of witchcraft and dark politics behind the killings. Malawi had just gained independence in 1964. President Hastings Banda ruled with an iron grip while the country struggled to find its new identity. In Blantyre, the commercial capital, sat a quiet suburb called Chilobwe. Ordinary homes, hardworking families, a simple community. But in late 1968, that calm was shattered. People began turning up dead inside their own houses. Not just murdered, but mutilated. What seemed like isolated cases soon grew into a wave of killings that paralyzed the entire city. The attacks followed a chilling pattern. Victims were often targeted at night while they slept. Many were women and children. Some bodies showed signs that suggested rituals. Fueling whispers of witchcraft, word spread fast. Something evil was stalking Chilobwe. Fear gripped the community. People stopped going out after dark, doors were bolted, families slept in groups for safety. But the murders kept coming. The number of victims climbed to more than 30, and the panic only deepened. When people started asking the question nobody wanted to answer, who could do this and why? This is where the story takes a strange turn. Whispers of witchcraft spread, talk of human blood being used in rituals. Some claimed the killings were linked to a secret society practicing magic. Others believed something even darker, that the government itself was involved. Rumors exploded that victims' blood was being drained and sent to South Africa, a supposed payment for international loans. There was no proof, but the story spread like wildfire, creating a climate of fear and paranoia. People no longer trusted the police to protect them. Some no longer trusted their government at all. By 1969, authorities were forced to act. Several suspects were arrested and put on trial. But here's the twist: they were released. The court said there wasn't enough evidence, but the public wasn't convinced. People were furious. To them, it looked like the system was protecting killers. Malawi's European-style legal system, inherited from colonial rule, was now seen as too soft. How could multiple suspects walk free when bodies kept piling up? The outrage was so strong, the government did something drastic. It shifted trials from conventional courts to traditional courts, where confessions carried more weight and due process looked very different. In 1970, there was finally a breakthrough, or at least it seemed like one. A man named Walla Laini Kawisa was arrested. He confessed to the murders. But here's the catch. He confessed 3 different ways, each story contradicting the last. At one point, he claimed to have killed alone. At another, he hinted at accomplices. His shifting stories made it impossible to know the full truth. Still, the traditional courts convicted him of 31 murders. In 1972, he was reportedly executed by hanging. On paper, the case was closed. But here's the part that keeps the mystery alive. Almost no one believed Kawisa could have acted alone. Even after Kawisa's conviction, doubts lingered. Many believed he was just a scapegoat, a convenient way to close the case and calm the public. Others whispered that powerful figures, maybe even politicians, were involved in the killings but had slipped away from justice. Think about it. 30 murders in less than 2 years. a city paralyzed, wild rumors of blood trade and witchcraft. In the end, one man takes the fall? So here's the question. Was Walla Laini Kawisa really the lone killer? Or just the man chosen to silence a nation's fear? Or was there something far more evil at play? Dark rituals hiding in the shadows? The truth of the Chilobwe murders remains unsolved, a haunting chapter in history where crime, superstition, and politics collided and left behind questions that may never be answered.